He's nearly here, and he is perfect. Florian Wirtz is so close to being announced as a Liverpool player. The tweet from David Ornstein just a few days ago confirming the £116 million fee. This is a record-breaking signing, which is nothing but a statement to the rest of the Premier League. This guy is ready to take English football by storm. But how did he get here? In this video, I will be running through his career up to this point and the multiple ways in which Arne Slot may use him at Liverpool. So if you do enjoy the video, please share, like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff for future content. And let's get straight into it. So Florian Wirtz actually came through the youth system at Cologne. He didn't start his career at Leverkusen. He moved there in the January of 2020 during COVID times. Now the transfer was actually deemed quite controversial as a gentleman's agreement was apparently broken in the process. After impressing for Leverkusen's under-17 team, he would make his first team full debut against Werder Bremen at just 17 years and 15 days. In the Bundesliga, of course, at that time he became the youngest player ever in the league up to that point. It has been broken since, but a couple of weeks later, he would score his first goal for the club against Bayern Munich in a 4-2 loss. In the 2020/21 season, he started to play much more regularly for Leverkusen. He also made his national debut with Germany. However, in March 2022, the season after, disaster struck when he tore his ACL against his former club, Cologne, setting him back 10 months. Now, of course, this was a massive blow to such a talented player at a young age. People were asking, when he comes back, will he be the same? Will he ever live up to the potential that he was showing? But 10 months later, he came back slowly and steadily, made improvements. In that period, he did miss the World Cup, the 2022 World Cup, a squad that he definitely would have been included in. Xabi Alonso would then take charge of Leverkusen in the summer of 2023, a former Liverpool man, of course. And what he would do to that squad is special. I mean, he redefined them in every single way. Moved to a three at the back formation. They look so fluid. Wirtz was in the number 10 role. And what they would do is a historic treble, a domestic treble, winning the Bundesliga unbeaten. They got to Europa League final, but lost out to Atalanta in that one. But Wirtz shone completely. 22 goals and assists combined, and he got Bundesliga Player of the Season. He followed that season up with a good Euros last summer. Obviously, Germany hosted that competition. He scored in the opening game against Scotland, also against Spain in the game that they lost to the eventual winners. But in 24/25, the season just gone, again, it was another great year for him. And this time he done it on the Champions League stage. I mean, the last two seasons is where he has just completely exploded. I mean, 23/24, like I've mentioned, probably his best season up to this point. 11 goals in the Bundesliga, 12 assists, but also in the Europa League he done pretty well, and in the Cup. So he finished the season with 49 appearances, 18 goals, 20 assists. This is the level of output that you can get from him. But I feel like the season just gone really cemented it to everyone that he is the real deal. Because it was always going to be tough for Leverkusen to go again after a season like that. They were the big fish. Teams were going to come after them now. But he still stood up as their best player. Look, 31 Bundesliga games, 10 goals, 13 assists. And in the Champions League, he stood out. 6 goals, 1 assist. And so he ended up with, 16 goals and 15 assists in all competitions. That is just frightening. To do that in back-to-back seasons at just 22 years of age shows that he's worth the price that Liverpool are willing to pay for him, 100 million plus. But how will Slot implement a special player like this into a team which is already Premier League champions? This is a very good Liverpool side, but there's always room for a player this good. He's also versatile. So I'll show you 3 different ways or different positions I think Slot can get the best out of Wirtz. Starting off with a 4-2-4, shall we say. He used this formation in a couple of games this season. He tends to press it in this kind of shape, but it does flip to a 4-2-3-1 depending if we've got an out-and-out striker playing. But against Aston Villa away and Man City away, I think they were back-to-back games. We saw it. We saw Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai in the number 10 positions just here. So Wirtz, I think he could slot into where Curtis Jones did play here. And these two wide men, Gakpo and Salah, obviously looking to do the damage with the output. Wirtz could just float about, man. Szoboszlai could be his legs. And then we could look for obviously Gravenberch and McAllister to do all of the ball playing to basically feed him to get creating chances, which he's so good at. It's basically a free role without an out-and-out striker. Liverpool have done this quite often over the years with Firmino. Obviously, Diaz done it quite a lot in the Premier League winning season we've just seen. So I think this could be an option. I mentioned the 4-2-3-1 with an out-and-out striker. There are rumours Liverpool are in for that this summer, so we'll see. But let's use Jota for an example. I think we could see Slot use Wirtz in an inside left position if we do go down this road. Obviously, he likes to see his teams as not just one set system, but fluid and play multiple throughout a game. That's what makes Liverpool so adaptable and fun to watch as well. But I think the fullbacks are going to play a key role in this and impact Wirtz if we do go down this road. Kerkez will obviously bomb forward. That's what he loves to do. The overlap, that leaves Wirtz space to come inside, which is what he naturally would want to do. Get shots off in that classic Coutinho type role back in the day. Maybe feed balls over to Salah, who'd be making those runs, which he always does, but even more so now with Frimpong making the runs as well. He loves to take up high and wide positions. So I think this is quite possible because the fullbacks are going to change Liverpool's system potentially quite a lot. And finally, the most obvious choice would be for him just to slot straight in ahead of Szoboszlai in that number 10 position. We wouldn't get as much out of him in terms of pressing, even though I think he's massively underrated in that area. But you've seen Liverpool obviously in build-up. Gravenberch drops in here. McAllister goes over to the left. Wirtz could very well do what Szoboszlai does and help out over here. But then obviously main job is to stay in between the lines, create. But I do think we would miss out on Szoboszlai's work. I think he's heavily underrated for this Liverpool team. If I had to pick what I think will happen, it does depend on the market, but I think it will be the first system that I've shown you there, the 4-2-4, the double tens. I have a feeling, ever since we were linked with Wirtz, I have a feeling that's what we'll actually go with if we don't sign a huge striker, you know. The options with Florian Wirtz are actually endless. These are just 3 that I've shown you, but there are many more that the coaching staff at Liverpool are probably working on already. I genuinely believe wherever they choose to play him, he will be a success because he is that good. He is that talented. He is that special. These are exciting times to be a Liverpool fan, man. I think we're going to come for back-to-back Premier League titles. I've said it on my TikTok page for so long. It's probably the most excited I've been for a Liverpool signing in my lifetime, and that is saying something. So there we have it. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please show me any support, and I will catch you on another video.